Let me take you back to the 14th of May in 2013. As you can see, this was a current picture. Back then my hair had changed a little, so that's how Half Double also have grown along the way. But at that day, actually, Niels, who's sitting here, who's the managing partner of Implement, and me, we joined forces together with one of our very good clients at that point, Christina Sejer Pedersen. Christina was working in Coloplast, and we've been helping Christina to build up a development muscle, a project organization with lots of strength. So she said to us, all right, guys, we've done the project management training, we've done the steering committee training, we've done the project model and the flow with that, we are doing portfolio management. So we're doing all the right things. And even though we're doing all the right things, it seems like we're trying to fit rationality, which might be kind of a squared thing, with reality that might be kind of a circular thing. And we're trying to make these two things fit together. And even though that we've been working together on this, it still seems like we're trying to make the right match every time and we can't make it work. So actually for us, it seems like only 30% of our projects seems to really succeed. So guys, how should we cope with this? What should we do now? Because we still need to do more. And Niels and I looked at each other, and to be honest with you, we didn't have that many words at that exact moment, so we kind of got a little silent. And I think that we realized we couldn't solve this right there at that point. So we needed to do something else. And Christina actually said, I think that we should do something bigger with this. And Niels said, do something bigger, figure out what the problem is. And then we kind of talked about what is the problem. And this number actually derived out of some of this discussion. We figured out that 34.7% of the German national economy actually consists of projects. So 1/3 of the project of the economy today is actually based on project leadership and doing projects. And so 1/3 of the economy would be just like doing kind of a project factory. So most organizations today are really more like not product factories, but project factories. So we're into a modern age where we can actually make a huge change if we do something about this. So that was the discussion we had at that point. And we all agreed that there's a hidden potential here, which is even bigger than other things that we are concerned about at this point. And then Niels said, I read a book recently. It was about how to create great management concepts. And I have a good idea for how we can make rationality to fit with reality. I think I have a good idea. And I think it's about creating a concept that would kind of help us to do that. I'm not sure what the concept is, but I think I know how to approach it. And he said, so I read in this book that you need to have a catchy name for it. Then you should figure out a narrative related to that name, a bigger why that everyone can kind of tap into, and then you just need to credentialize it. Maybe we should do that. And Christina and I looked at each other and thought, yeah, maybe. And then we brainstormed on what could be the name, and we came up with a great name. Project 2.0. That's where we started, right? So we were really, at the top of our peak there, thinking creatively, and then we figured out, okay, what happens when Project 3.0 arrives? Then Project 2.0 probably will be obsolete, so maybe that's not the best name. So this is, of course, a process over a few weeks, and then we gave it another name. So we gave it Project Half Double. We actually invented Project Half Double, and the idea behind that was really to link it to the narrative that maybe we could create double the impact in half the time in some of our projects, because we've tried that in some of the projects, and we thought that could be a provoking statement. That could be something that the project management world probably haven't heard about before. Maybe that could kind of wake people up to see the challenge, but also to see the potential, because together we could develop a new and radical project paradigm to increase the competitiveness of the Danish industry. That was kind of the narrative that we made there. And then we said, okay, so, how can we then gain traction with it? So we gathered the 25 best people that we knew of at that point, people like Christina, people who work with projects in reality. And these are some of the sessions that we had, and we discussed, how can we gain traction with this? Would they even like to contribute in this? And out of the 25 that we invited that day, 21 of them said, yes, we would like to join. Let's do something more. And today, this number has grown into 2,300 people. So that was the passionate start of it. And then at that session here, we made 10 moonshots for project management. 10 moonshots for how project management could change. And those moonshots became an application to the Danish Industry Foundation, who actually saw the potential in this, who wanted to support this and fund it going forward. And that was the first credentialization that we gained with Half Double. And then what we did was that we actually contacted Aarhus University, we contacted PS5E, who was already in the business of creating something within reinventing project management. And we contacted CBS and Danish Technical University. And together with them, we joined forces, and with some of the 21 practitioners who soon became 100 and then 200, then we started actually doing real life projects, trying to make this methodology. While we were doing the real projects, we were developing the methodology with impact, flow, and leadership, trying to figure out what would these projects need to succeed. So the first 7 projects were actually experiments. So one of the first 7 was, for instance, Landmann Unibake, which was the place where Christina at that point were working. So we tried it out and tried to develop this methodology on real life projects, but also to create some kind of impact. So we were really, rigid on the impact generation. And then we had Aarhus University and Danish Technical University at that point to evaluate some of those projects. So the idea have now matured into a thing that we have tested, a thing that we have proved actually works, a thing that we have developed again and again, so to make it as fit as possible for projects. And we think that the idea is now mature enough to actually create an institute. And this institute will have the same vision as Half Double had when Project Half Double had when it started. The vision is still to increase the success rate of projects. And we also would like to increase the competitiveness of private and public organizations in Denmark. But we also would like to expand this to the world, because we think the world might need this. We think that sustainability projects could need this. We think that product development projects could need this, because we've actually proved that it works. So that's where we are, and we're trying to create an ecosystem, an independent and self-sustaining ecosystem where Half Double practitioners will seek help from consultants and take education within Half Double, being educated, leverage their competences within this. And in order to do that, we need a certain standard. We need partners who can make sure that this is a valid, trustworthy standard, and that it will be done in the same great way with all partners associated to the Institute. We've also about to start with software partners who will make kind of a software version of Half Double for us to use it in, for instance, portfolio management and project management. And we still want to keep research very close to Half Double because we think it really gives Half Double an edge. So these are some of the organizations that have joined in and said, yes, we would like to be part of this. Yes, we would like to develop and diffuse this concept even more in this self-sustaining fund that will give donations back to project management. So that is the whole idea, that the Institute will be an unwilling, impartial entity that will help create this ecosystem. And that's what we're trying to create here in the third wave of Half Double, which have gained another 15 million in support from the Danish Industry Foundation. So in order to do that, we're creating this certification standard, which will be one of the things that you will hear more about today. So we have actually invited some of the partners here to help us to get closer to these ambitions that we have for the Institute. So by the end of 2022, we're hoping that we will have at least 1,000 organizations using the Half Double concept. Out of those 1,000, we are hoping to have at least 50 small growth organizations who have proved that they're using Half Double and that it works in their context as well. And also have 1,000 certified Half Double practitioners. So that's what we're striving towards. And that's why we need to be more people. That's why we need to be more passionate people to get this great idea diffused into even more organizations. So the half double wave 3 also contains quite some marketing, quite some spreading the word activities. So for the 15 million that we have achieved from the Danish Industry Foundation right now, they will be used in order to spread the word over the next 3 years about half double. So we will do more thought leader conferences like this. We will do regional community meetings. We'll develop a guide to start half double in smaller growth organizations. We will do social media campaigns. We'll do half double films and guides. And we'll also do a gamification version of half double to make it easy, fun, and rewarding to start working with this concept. Then we will do quite some education. We will do education of executive teams, education of project teams, and also create this standard to make sure that the education is done in a proper and a high quality way that actually ensures that the projects that we do with half double do create impact. Because that's the idea with half double. We're trying to create double the impact in half the time. And if projects, do not succeed with that, then we have an issue. That's why we need a standard. So that is also the reason why we today are launching the new website, halfdoubleinstitute.org. And at that website, we will kind of develop and add more and more content as we move along. And this will also be the platform where practitioners, consultants, certification partners, researchers meet and have online debates. So that is the vision for the Half Double website, that will kind of be the virtual meeting point for Half Double passionate people.